What's good, Eagles fans? Y'all are tuned into y'all dose of Chalk It Up, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just gotta charge it to the game. I'm your humble host, Tony DeShields II, and I am eternally grateful that you guys have found me for another episode to get your daily dose of your sports takes. And I gotta admit, man, I'm just so humble, so grateful for the support that you guys have always given me. You guys have held me down unapologetically, and I'm grateful. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more if you like what you hear. If you guys have been loyal to the channel, if you guys have been loyal to the soil, you already know what my heart is and you already know how we get down. But let's get right into it. The Eagles are playing and the Eagles are twiddling their thumbs with this Carson Wentz trade. And let me explain to you what I mean. A lot of people feel like the Eagles are essentially asking for too much when it comes to Carson Wentz, especially given the circumstances that he's come off one of his worst seasons of his career. And let's be honest, the Colts and the Chicago Bears are growing very impatient with the Philadelphia Eagles. And I got a strong feeling the Eagles are going to end up cutting their nose despite their face when it comes to this Carson Wentz situation. As it's already known, the Eagles are looking for something similar to the Matthew Stafford deal. Matthew Stafford got sent to the Los Angeles Rams for basically the Rams' first-round picks in 2022 and 2023, a third-round pick in 2021, and their quarterback, Jared Goff. Now, one of the reasons why LA gave up so much was because Detroit was absorbing that Jared Goff contract. And that was a big deal for them. They wanted to get away from it, and they instantly regretted it. Just like the Eagles. Clearly, the organization is regretting paying him that money, just based off how everything has transpired. But many teams are growing impatient, and based off of multiple reports, the market for Wentz is growing cold. The market for the Philadelphia Eagles is growing extremely cold. And I do understand we have a long offseason in front of us. We haven't even gotten to the draft. We haven't even gotten to free agency. The Super Bowl just ended. And right now, the Eagles are pretty much stuck in limbo. And I feel like if we're going to really move on, if the intention is to move on from Carson Wentz and to give him a fresh start, the Eagles are going to have to lower their asking price just based on what we're reading. I was reading an article from, I want to say, NewJersey.com, the NJ.com, written by Mike Kay. And he pretty much was indicating that he spoke to, or someone from NJ Advanced Media spoke to someone who was very close to the situation, who wanted to remain anonymous. And pretty much what that person said was they don't want to give Wentz up for much less than the Matthew Stafford haul. Another person with knowledge of the negotiations told NJ Advanced Media on Tuesday that the Detroit Lions sent Stafford to the Los Angeles Rams in exchange for a lot. And like I mentioned, we already know that. But the thing is, the Colts and the Bears, at the end of the day, they need to operate in their best interest as well. And let's be clear, that contract that Wentz has, no one is really happy about taking that on. It's not a desirable contract to take on. But if we are going to move on, we gotta lower our expectations. We have to. Carson Wentz came off one of his worst seasons. Now, we all know Carson Wentz still has talent left in him. I believe so. I personally feel like Carson Wentz is going to tear it up no matter where he goes. I actually feel like he should have been given the opportunity to come back and redeem himself this year. But the presence of Jalen Hurts makes that situation very much complicated. And that situation was created by Howie Roseman. It's interesting because a lot of the problems that we have always go back to the root. And the root is Howie Roseman. As a matter of fact, it's gotten so bad, Carson Wentz refuses to take calls from Howie Roseman. He's spoken to everyone else. He's spoken to Jeffrey Lurie. He's spoken to Nick Sirianni. I'm pretty sure he's spoken to his teammates here and there. But he refuses. He refuses to take a call from Howie Roseman. So Jeffrey Lurie, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? Now, I'm going to give Howie credit. He's good at, playing around with the numbers and, restructuring and blase. But when it comes to personality, being personable with the players, understanding the player's psyche, having respect for your players, he's not that guy. And Carson Wentz sees right through that. And I understand. I completely understand. At this point, I think Carson Wentz is going to be out the door. I don't want that to happen, really. I really don't. I really believe he should have an opportunity to redeem himself. But I want to get so far away from this situation because it's become exhausting. It's become repetitive. I feel like I'm in this constant state of retrograde, this constant loop where nothing's changing. We're just hearing the same news cycle over and over and over and over again, and it's exhausting. I will never give up on Carson Wentz as a player. I won't even give up on him as a man. I think Carson Wentz is a good man. But this city has begun to weigh a lot on him. We got to admit that. Him being here in Philadelphia these past 5 years have weighed on him tremendously. I think it will weigh on any quarterback, really. Some call Wentz mentally weak. But let's be totally honest. What franchise quarterback has had to deal with the dysfunction that Carson Wentz has dealt with? Time and time again, someone's been brought in behind you that could potentially take your job, and that's just not cool to me. I understand some people feel that, hey, no matter who back there, you should be able to do your job. Cool. But when you're dealing with a city like Philadelphia, we hold people very accountable. We're very rough around the edges, and we're not really easy to deal with. It's just that clear. It's just that plain and simple. But this situation for Carson Wentz these past few years has never been optimal. Howie Roseman went and got Jalen Hurts, and I ain't got no problem with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts didn't do this to himself. Jalen Hurts didn't draft himself. But Howie Roseman created a lot of this hellstorm that we're dealing with. And a lot of people feel that the problem is still here in the city. A lot of people feel like the problem never left. We fired Doug Peterson. I personally feel that Doug Peterson got himself fired when he decided to upgrade Press Taylor. That was the last straw. I wasn't even with that. So if that's your plan, Doug, for the betterment of this roster, I think it's best to part ways because Press Taylor is not the guy, in my opinion. So we've got rid of Doug Peterson. And we thought that would be enough to keep Carson Wentz, but it's not. He clearly still wants to be out of here because he hasn't taken the time or effort to dispel any of the hearsay that's been going on about him. The hearsay has been completely disparaging and very negative when it comes to his character, how he operates as a man and as an athlete. It's just been very condescending. And I can only imagine how difficult it is to continuously read and hear things about you that you know are not true. But the person who is the catalyst of all of this is just sitting high, is just sitting dandy, golden in his chair, just relaxing. But don't worry, the pressure's on you as well, Howie Roseman. The pressure's on you as well. Because this is your last year of your contract, and this is a make or break year for you. And I honestly don't think you're going to be back here regardless of what happens. I don't think you should be back here regardless of what happens. And if Carson Wentz goes somewhere else and begins to flourish and thrives like no other, we're going to look back on this moment like, what the hell did we do? What the hell did we campaign for? Now, again, I want to make it very clear. I support Carson Wentz. I support Jalen Hurts. But I support the Philadelphia Eagles much, much more. So I want what's best for this organization. I want what's best for this fan base. And right now, what's best for this fan base is for Carson Wentz to go his way and for us to go ours. And that's not to say he's not talented. That's not to say, he doesn't still have it. Like I said before, I feel like he should have still been given a fair shot to bounce back this year. But too many things have occurred to make him not want to be here. The coaching staff did nothing for you all season to make your job easier. Nothing. They saw you struggling. They made you throw the ball 50 plus times every single game. What the hell? That's not cool in any capacity. And let's be totally honest as well. There have been plenty of quarterbacks who've had bad seasons. Bad seasons. Let's be real, bad. And they've had opportunities to come back. But you know what the difference is? None of them have had a talent like Jalen Hurts behind them. None of them have had a quarterback who led their team to a national championship in college and conference championships and breaking score records. No one in years past who has struggled and had bad seasons and was given the opportunity to redeem themselves, no one has ever had to deal with someone like Jalen Hurts' talent and skill set behind them. No one has. No one. So, in saying that, this problem that we're in the middle of, Philadelphia, This problem was done and created by Howie Roseman. It began at draft night. It began when we got Jalen Hurts. And I have no ill will to that brother. I want that brother to win. If he's our number one quarterback, I'm with it. If he's our QB1, I'm with it. I'm with it. I want our team to I want our team to thrive. I want our team to flourish. But my thing is, Eagles, if we're going to move on from Carson Wentz, we got to change what we're asking for, because we created the situation. We didn't help this man. We made him look so terrible to the point where how is he marketable to the other team? How can you justify what we're asking for knowing how the man performed? You screwed up his value. His value is not as high as you may think it is. Yes, we all know what he did in 2017. We know. We understand that 3 out of his last 4 years, he was a top 15, top 12 quarterback for the most part. We understand that. But my thing is, stop comparing him to Matthew Stafford right now. It's not the same dynamic. Matthew Stafford has never had help. Never. All he had was Megatron. And then Megatron retired, I think, after 9, 10 seasons, maybe less than that. But Megatron was a legend in his own right. But Matthew Stafford has never really had help top to bottom. Never. Coaching always sucked. And he still put up crazy numbers for the most part. So let's stop the Matthew Stafford Carson Wentz comparison. The bottom line is Carson Wentz had a bad year. And in having that bad year, it screwed up his value. And the Eagles have to be idiots to think they're going to get exactly what they're asking for that man. We need to humble ourselves if we're going to move on. Now, again, the offseason is very young. A lot can change, a lot can happen. But we need to get rid of him, or move on from him, rather, before the draft, before teams find their quarterbacks. We need to move on so we can have some sort of leverage in the draft, have more picks, have more assets. We need the picks. We need to rebuild this roster through the draft, top to bottom. And I don't trust Howie Roseman to do it correctly. But he's the guy, he's here, and we have to deal with that as an organization, as a team, as a fan base. Carson Wentz. Sure, you could have played better, but your organization didn't really help you. That's a fact. That's a fact. Anyone who dispels that doesn't know what they're talking about. If you watched every game like I have, and my other colleagues have, Carson Wentz got zero help from his coaching staff every single week. Zero. None. Zilch. Nada. They did nothing. When he was struggling, you know what they did? Let's throw the ball more. No. Think about that Browns game. Think about the Browns game. We were running the ball very well. Got to the red zone. Just started running the ball alone. Then one fumble from a running back. And all of a sudden, we're throwing the ball a million times in the rain. And we struggled and we lost. You're not helping your guy. I don't care how much you paid him. If he's struggling, get him back in the rhythm. Run the ball more. You know what I'm saying? It's really simple, man. But there's no need to go too deep into the past season. What it is what it is. What's done is done. And right now, I firmly believe Carson Wentz will be out the door. It's just a matter of when. But the Eagles need to change what they're asking for, because if they really think they're going to get what they think they're going to get for Carson Wentz, they're mistaken. But I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II, and y'all was tuned into y'all dose of Chalk It Up, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. If you guys are new to the content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more. I'd be eternally grateful for that. If you guys have been loyal to the channel, loyal to the soil from the beginning, you already know where my heart is. So, if you guys haven't already, make sure you go check out the Chalk It Up merch shop as well. I have so many different items on there that you guys will definitely like. Like I always say, face masks, neck gaiters, hoodies, shirts, phone cases, whatever you want, I got it. And whatever you need, I can provide it. But that's all I have for you guys today. I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II, and y'all was tuned in to Chalk It Up, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just gotta charge it to the game. One love, and fly Eagles fly.